how to make money on Instagram. Coming right up. What's up everyone? Azari here, founder of a creative agency, Breakthrough Social, and let's just get into this topic. It's such a huge topic that I get asked frequently. Usually the question is, hey, I have X amount of followers, how can I take those followers and turn them into dollar signs? Now let's take a step back for a second. Don't look at your followers or Instagram as a way of making money. It's a platform where you could leverage to either broadcast or announce your story or showcase your product. However, you want to use that tool such that people know who you are, who your brand is. It shouldn't be your ultimate revenue making way of, or your ultimate way of making money. That's number one. However, there is obviously, and you obviously know this, and this is why we're talking about this topic, there's ways to make profit on Instagram, so, and just solely on Instagram, if that's what you're gonna base on. So number one, this is it. You could create a page, a specific niche, where you're creating content that people are interested in, right? Where you build hopefully unique content, but however, it could be curated content. For example, I have a bunch of pages where there's curated content. However, it's not a lot of the content is mine. It's just content that I found interested in. For example, lifestyle guides, a home decor page, as you can see, where I'm curating content on interests of interior design. I'm not really putting much effort in it. I'm just finding content that would match this audience, and the only way it's growing right now is organically through people tagging and liking and commenting each piece of content. However, the way I can leverage that piece of channel is by shout outs is number one, which is a short-term way of making profit on Instagram. Shout out is basically finding brands or people that are interested in advertising on your page, similar to when you look on a catalog, a magazine, where magazines advertise other brands or businesses on their magazine. Basically, you know, they have a fixed rate of like, hey, you'll have a full spread on page 26 for X amount of dollars. Similar way it goes on Instagram, where you could get people to advertise on your page, which again, you will lose a lot of brand equity. And what I mean by that, you will get, people hate advertisements. It's similar to like when you listen to radio, right? When the first time a new station comes out, they don't have that many commercials. They barely have any commercials in the beginning. They get you hooked. And then they slowly advertise on their channel, which gets people away from that station and they tune into another station, they tune away. So it's a good way to make short-term profit, but it's a horrible long-term strategy. So if that's your strategy, go ahead, you can start advertising, start DMing people, brands, they actually start DMing you to advertise on their page. Number two is branding yourself such that you build such credibility that you could start selling a product or service of your own. What do I mean by that? Let's say every single day or every single week you put up makeup tutorials and you build a cult following of like people that love makeup because you're so good. For example, Carly Bybel. And many, many more have built such a great following because they're so talented with their skills with makeup and beauty, such that now they have their own product line which they use in their own piece of content. However, in the past, they've been using other people's products to showcase what they can do, what kind of looks they can make, and educating their followers into portraying that look or replicating that look. Eventually, they built such a following that they can start making their own product line so that they can sell it in their own channel. However, they just don't sell it on Instagram. However, that they leverage that following on Instagram, YouTube, and so forth to attract sales to their website, which they funnel the subscribers of their followers in, and they either sign them up through a mailing list or through Shopify or all that sort. They're using Instagram to broadcast their product line. That's the best way to make money on Instagram, or like any type of social media platform, is showcasing your talent or service such that you build that credibility so that you can eventually sell a product or service of your own. Number 3 is more of a consulting or agency route. It's basically helping other brands creating content or helping them build their Instagram following. So what I mean, so how can you make money on that? So say that you're talented in content creation, or you know how to grow an account, or you know a specific industry where a brand needs help on their content, right? You're great at graphic design. So what can you do? Well, if you want to make money, you find those brands, say, hey, I could create 5-6 pieces of content for you. Check out my work on Behance or on your Instagram account, where you could, where you could start creating content for that specific brand, right? And you charge them X amount of dollars. You gotta figure out what your dollar amount is, what your hourly rate is. That's another way that's like kind of like an indirect way of making money on Instagram. It's basically, using your portfolio so that you look for brands that you could identify with, and then you could start creating content for them. Make sense? There's actually so many ways of making money on Instagram. I wanted to get down with these top 3 ways of doing so. And it's all about putting in the work, putting in those hours daily and day in and day out. There's no easy way of doing so. So don't think it's gonna take something overnight. If you ask me, like, do I make money on Instagram? No, I don't. I have all these pages. I do not really do. You'll see me do any shout outs because I do not want to lose brand equity. I leverage my channels for a couple of reasons. One, to showcase them to clients when I meet them. We say we have a network of X amount of followers. If the brand matches those specific channels, yes, we will advertise on those accounts. However, if it's just a completely different industry, completely different business, we will not spam on our channels. Don't spam, people hate spam. Don't lose your audience once you gain them. Don't annoy them. Anyway, hope this helped. Press the like button if it did. Subscribe for more content like this and so much more. I'm gonna get really creative with this channel. So yeah, subscribe and see you soon. Peace.